Here's my favorite posterior stabilization trick. It's a game of millimeters, and we're going to talk about the posterolateral portal. And as you heard this morning, what is the number one thing you're going to take back to your practice on Monday? The posterolateral 7 o'clock portal. We're going to talk about the history of this. It's critical for optimizing your anchor placement, and posterior is no stranger to that. We clearly prefer the lateral DQ, but it's just easier. But certainly you can do this in the beach chair. But the posterolateral portal is key no matter which position you do this in, and it's the best for anchor trajectory overall. Portal placement is key, and when we look at these, this posterior inferior portal is the workhorse for our posterior instability, posterior super instability, slap tears, and really allows us to go anywhere around the labrum and makes this case 100% stress-free. And so we've got anterior superior, we know we've got that, we got mid-glenoid, we've got anterior inferior, but really this anterior inferior, posterior, all can be done through the same 3 millimeter skin incision to really do and affect the entire repair. So we've got our typical portal here as our standard posterior portal, and then we've got a posterolateral portal, and this is really able to come right up against the humeral head and get a perfect trajectory into the glenoid. And so it's really important to think about that trajectory. In a case like this, you just have to be able to go around the world in terms of where you have a significant labrum tear that's really 180 degrees. And so although your exam shows posterior instability and their history is posterior instability, here you are coming posterolateral, use a 16-gauge spinal needle, and now there are even percutaneous ways to do this and progressive dilators that's actually been borrowed from our hip arthroscopy colleagues, and it's been done very well over nitinol wires and progressive dilation to be able to do this. And so here we are demonstrating this. You can see from that posterolateral aspect I'm measuring here, that's right about